Hi, I'm Alisa from School of Liberal Arts, Sukhothai Dhammathirad Open University.
And I'm Jay. Welcome to Culture Me, where we talk about cultural issues and differences. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email us at stoucultureme@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook at Facebook.com/stoucultureme. And don't forget to like us.
สวัสดีค่ะรายการนี้เป็นรายการที่18นะคะสำหรับ Culture Me Series นะคะซึ่งเราจะพูดคุยกันเกี่ยวกับเรื่องของวัฒนธรรมในมุมมองต่างๆถ้าท่านผู้ฟังอยากจะแลกเปลี่ยนความคิดเห็นก็เข้ามาที่ Facebook ของเราหรืออีเมลมาก็ได้นะคะซึ่งเราจะได้มาพูดคุยกันในภายหลังนะคะในประเด็นที่ท่านสนใจนะคะอาจารย์ we have been talking a lot about culture, isn't it? And so there are things like people who are cultured and not cultured.
Right.
Not to insult them, but
that's
different
just the way it
things.
is.
Yeah. So I think it's nice to learn about the word or the vocabulary about this.
Yes, there's a lot
when people mention things that are culture and not culture. I mean, to be culture, you have to know lots of vocabulary as well.
That's true. And we have there's a lot of English vocabulary concerning people who are cultured and people who are uncultured. A lot of words. And three that I want to talk about first for talking about people who are cultured. The three words, these three words are often used as synonyms, but they are different. They are different, and I want to talk about the differences and how to use them properly. The first word is cosmopolitan, which I love that word.
Yeah, it's quite common, isn't it?
Right, and cosmopolitan means a citizen of the world, just a person who belongs to more than one culture. Okay? Things like using more than one language in daily life, daily behavior that's not from only one culture, but it's not really serious stuff. Like
they're flexible or adaptable.
Exactly.
Adjustable.
Kind of take things that they like from different cultures. I never ever write ha 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 as ha because in Thailand I know my numbers, and everyone puts 555 for ha ha ha. Even with that's so much easier. It's so much easier, and it's faster, and so I always do that. Even with my Western friends, I have taught them all what that means because I just do it all the time, and it's so easy. It's so easy. If you can use chopsticks properly. That makes you cosmopolitan. It's a cosmopolitan thing. But again, it's nothing too serious. It's little stuff. Using foreign words in your language, whatever you're speaking, because that word is better.
But does it mean you have to learn like different literature, philosophy?
No. It's
things
very
like
light.
High class things,
Well,
like
that's
educated people.
That's getting into the next word, which is sophisticated. Sophisticated is a person with good taste and good manners, and a person who is well educated and cultured. But it does the difference between these two is you can be sophisticated, but not belong to more than one culture. Really, you can just be educated about your culture. Really doesn't have anything to do with other cultures.
Because I learned from literature, rhetoric of the classical people, they have to learn about the good, the just, and the beautiful. That's the classical theme of the whole thing.
Yeah.
To be sophisticated.
Right. Someone who's sophisticated can have an intelligent conversation about art, architecture, literature. A sophisticated person knows which if it's an American sophisticated, they know which fork to use at a dinner party. They know clever things to say in awkward situations. Yeah. And the next word is worldly.
Worldly sounds not very positive to me.
No, it's good. It's a good thing.
It is?
Yeah. It's like cosmopolitan, but more serious. More serious.
More like religious people?
No. Intelligence about other countries. Like if you say that someone is very worldly, they know about the politics of another country and can discuss it. They know the history of another country, or a lot about the economy of another country. It's more serious. Like, because I write 555 for ha ha ha, you could say, oh, he's cosmopolitan, but you can't say I'm worldly because of that. You can't say I'm worldly. That would it's for serious stuff. I don't know enough about other countries.
World economics.
World economics. I don't know enough about world history or politics for anyone to call me worldly.
Oh, yeah.
If anyone called me worldly, I would laugh.
These people must have to read a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. The difference is cosmopolitan is knowing information about other cultures and you kind of using it daily, but it's not serious stuff. Worldly is being knowledgeable about other countries' serious issues.
Ajahn, what are other people on the other side, Ajahn? I just don't want to call them uncultured,
Okay.
but I mean people who sort of have, how about it, less
Less
cosmopolitan. Less cosmopolitan.
Less cosmopolitan.
I mean, we have to know this. Just
we do
just
because
to understand.
actually, I mean, the vocabulary is so commonly used, and you hear it in movies and TV shows. It's very
What about
common.
this nouveau riche? That is from French, isn't
Yes,
it?
in English we borrowed the nouveau riche, which just means new money. Sometimes we say new money.
Oh.
We either say new money or nouveau riche, and it's just a person who has recently become wealthy, but is badly mannered. They still behave like the lower classes, and they buy things only to impress people, like a really super expensive car or a huge house, but they still act the same as the lower classes.
Is this the Great Gatsby things? Like he was rich, but learned to accommodate himself in a new society.
Right, he did. The problem, most nouveau riche or new money, they don't. They still act the way they used to.
Okay.
And they haven't learned the etiquette that goes with having a lot of money. They don't know how to eat properly. And
John, what about this word white trash? Seems very harsh, isn't it?
it is a harsh
very
word.
Rude word?
It's very rude. It's very rude. Yeah, and it's not something you should really call someone unless you're looking for a fight. But it's something that people
we have to know it.
You have to know it because it's used a lot in movies, TV, and books and magazines and everything. It's low-class white people is what it is. It's low-class behavior of white people. And if typically they're uneducated, they don't know anything about other cultures, their priorities are not education or succeeding in their jobs, really. So yeah, white trash.
Are they like the gangsters sometimes?
No, not usually. I mean, some are into drugs, but gangs, no. Usually they just have no motivation for bettering themselves, and they, they don't. Education is not a priority. Finishing high school is not a priority, much less going to college.
John, and this trailer trash? Is it the same?
It's basically the same. It's a little harsher. A trailer in the U.S. it's also called a mobile home, and it's like a very inexpensive place you can live, and you buy them and they come with wheels.
But yeah, can you drive to anywhere? No.
No, they don't have like an engine. They're towed, and yeah, some people take the wheels off. But yeah, that's a trailer, and trailer trash is like poor white people, white trash, but they live in a trailer. And it's really rude. It's really rude. But it's again, you know.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Not use that.
Don't use it. Don't use it unless you want to get into a fight.
Ajahn, what about this gauche? I think it's from French too, right?
Yeah, we borrowed that one also. If you say that someone is gauche, it means the person is just lacking in social grace or sensitivity, that they're crude, that they say really rude, tactless things.
Tactless mean ไม่มีศิลปะในการประสานหรือว่าเข้ากับคนนะคะ What about the next one, Ajahn? Uncivilized. It seems very academic, right? Reading in a book about.
It is, and that's actually in English. It's a more polite term. You know, you don't want to, if someone doesn't have any exposure to manners, culture, like people who don't wait in line, people who don't know how to drive safely or properly, people who don't use an elevator properly. A polite way to describe them as that's very uncivilized, or that person is uncivilized.
But you know, Ajahn, I sometimes wonder who set these criteria, you see, to be civilized or uncivilized.
I think it's just international standards, you know, international standards, of
Because I was thinking of like Tarzan, you know, he came into the human society,
right,
and he was, you know, considered uncivilized.
Yeah, so he had to. If you're uncivilized, you haven't been taught how to behave, and what is acceptable, what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. In you know, in a civilized society, it's you know, the good of the whole has to be considered. You know, what makes everyone comfortable.
John, when you were a child in your home country, if you act you know, improperly, what would your mama say?
My mother would say, "Were you raised in a cave, young man?" And it means that she thought I was acting uncivilized. That like if I ran through a store, or if we were in a store, or even in someone's house, if you know, if the child touches something, you're not supposed to touch things, you know, in someone's house unless they tell you it's okay. But yeah, I think almost every American's mother used to use that expression, and you know, I still use it now as an adult. You know, if I see someone acting in an uncivilized way, I'm like, oh, he must have been raised in a cave. It just means you grew up like Tarzan. You know, you didn't grow up in a house, you grew up in a cave like Tarzan.
John, this ill-bred is such a strong word, isn't it?
That's very strong.
Is that an insult word?
It's very insulting, very insulting. And it's, you know, raised in a cave is kind of funny because our mothers used it. But ill-bred is the same meaning, but it's really serious and really strong. And it means a little more. It means that your whole family is bad.
My goodness.
Yeah, not just you. Like it's your whole family. Like bad genes in your whole family, no manners. You know, you weren't brought up properly by educated
Ajahn, in Thailand, we also have some kind of phrase that like your father and mother never taught you how to behave. Do you say that in American?
we have it basically means the ill-bred, and raised in a cave. Yeah,
Because
same meaning.
we always, when a child behave badly, then we say your father and mother did not, bring you up properly.
That's
teach you something.
That is exactly what these two mean. That's exactly what these two mean.
Ajahn, there are also some other words that means like you are not so sophisticated and not very have good taste, Ajahn, like
yes.
tacky.
Tacky is one of my favorite words because I'm from the South and I didn't know it until recently, but tacky originated in the South
My goodness.
section of the U.S. and now it is, it's everywhere. But yeah, something that's tacky is in bad taste.
Yeah, like plastic.
Yes.
Bright color, not neat and
right. Bad design, like overly designed. Yeah, tacky. I love that word.
And trashy.
Trashy is a harsh.
Trash is garbage, isn't
Exactly.
it? Trash หมายถึงขยะนะคะ garbage ก็เหมือนกัน
So yeah, it's a very bad word to it's very bad to call someone trashy.
My goodness.
But we do it all the time, and we hear it in movies, and it's just a person who lacks class. And there are one thing, trashy people exist in all races, all socioeconomic levels. Someone can be very rich, but they can also be trashy if they don't behave properly. Yeah, trashy, but don't use it.
It seems we are learning a lot of bad vocabulary today, Ajahn.
True, but it's you have to know what's bad. To me, it's knowledge is power, and you need to know what's bad so that you don't use it, or if you hear it, you know that it's a bad thing.
Yeah, Ajahn, what about gaudy and ostentatious?
Gaudy and ostentatious are about the same. They're close synonyms. Something that's gaudy is showy, flashy, but cheap. It's not expensively done.
Okay.
Ostentatious is the same thing, but it doesn't have to be cheap. It can be very, very expensive, but it's still showy. Like a huge house that someone buys just so that everyone is impressed. It might be expensive, so it's ostentatious. If it's expensive but it was cheaply done, like a cheap design, you could say it's gaudy.
Ajahn, one last word about Mac Mansion. What is
Yes.
it?
A lot of people ask me about this. A McMansion is a large, pretentious house, usually not very well built, and they're considered upscale with some people. But it's a new house that's really, really, really big, especially in the U.S. That's
Millions.
Yes, but they're new. They're usually kind of tacky. They're not usually designed very well either. Like the architecture is not well thought out, and a lot of the new money, nouveau riche, they buy McMansions to impress people, but most people aren't impressed.
Okay, thank you very much, Ajahn. We learned a lot about verb and words and terms that we if we are cultures or not so cultured.
Yes, I hope it helps. And thank you everyone for joining us.